I will be presenting to you Module 5-2, Roles of School Trainers. This is Unit 5 for Orientation for Organizers. First of all, the objectives of this module. By the end of this module, the participants will be able to, number one, explain the framework of QUIS-ME orientation training. Number two, state the content of the orientation modules and materials. Number three, identify and state the roles and responsibilities of school trainers. First of all, the framework, review of training framework. Let us ask ourselves the question, why is orientation of the national textbooks and teacher's manual important? And then secondly, we'll look at the question, why did you learn through the orientation? There are four main objectives of the training. Number one, trainees are able to understand the content of the national textbooks and teachers' manuals for quick start training. Secondly, trainees are able to prepare, teach, and assess lessons using national textbooks and teachers' manuals. This will be done during full training. Outline of the training. Let's review the framework again. Outline of the training. Number one, the items and the contents are there. Item, the periods for training. Quick start training is normally conducted in 5 days and it can be done anytime. Full training is conducted actually 3 to 5 days. Can be done in an organized time in the school or during NIST or PIST week. Training approaches. School-based inset with video materials. During this time, National Department of Education sends the materials to schools, while provincial staff help and monitor school in service. Trainers, about 3 to 4 facilitators, including head teachers of each school. Content of the modules are explained clearly in video and also in handouts. Participants will be normally all teachers in the primary school. The in-service training will be conducted. Next, review of training framework. School-based training. The national trainers will normally be trained in Port Moresby. These are selected provincial in-service coordinators, senior inspectors, and PTC personnel, normally about 10 personnel. Training material distribution, including instructional videos, will be sent to the schools. Instructions on implementation of school-based training and monitoring will be done by the facilitators. And school-based training will be normally for school teachers. There are two types of QUIS-ME in-service training programs. Number one is provincial orientation, as I've said before, normally held in Port Moresby. And secondly, school-based training, normally held at the school level. The participants of provincial orientation are instructed to conduct school-based trainings and monitor these to make sure that the trainings are effectively carried out. Content of school-based training. The half-a-day training is normally conducted. You can see the modules on the right-hand side. Conducted in order for the facilitators and the school teachers to have a knowledge of the materials so that when it's time for full training, the participants know exactly what they will be training on so that they are well prepared for the sessions. Materials for school-based training. The materials are to be distributed to schools in order to conduct the training. The materials will include instruction and what the schools will have to prepare to carry out the training. We have the lesson plans for each training modules, copy of training materials, summary and composition of the new textbook, and teacher manuals, handouts for each training module, worksheets, video materials for participants use during training, video materials for trainers, including PowerPoint presentations, and also master trainers will be able to explain each modules. Let's observe training materials for school trainers. First of all, about the orientation kit. There will be information about the orientation kit, training schedules, materials for each module, which will include session procedure, presentation slide, handout, and worksheet, assessment plan with answers, reflection sheet, and evaluation form. Certificate for the trainers. The trainers are to be certified after facilitating trainings. In order for the certificate to be awarded, the trainers must meet the following competencies. First of all, be knowledgeable about the new national textbooks and teachers' manuals. Be knowledgeable in organizing school-based training. Be knowledgeable in utilizing the orientation kit. Have the ability to liaise and communicate effectively with teachers. 2-3 certificate for trainer. Trainer must fill in the certificate form, and 2, the requisition form for training materials for schools trainers, and send this to Provincial Education Office with other training information. And thirdly, fill in Provincial Education Authorities approved training, stamp this and or sign both forms at the provincial education level, and trainers will pick this up from the Provincial Education Office. This is a sample of the certificates in the manual. Roles and responsibilities of provincial officers for school level training. The success of training depends on how well the training is managed by head teachers. Maybe thinking, what should we know and do in order to plan and manage training well? So discuss and give your views. Points to manage and conduct training well. Number 1, establish school-based training committee in the province for the preparation of school-based trainings. 2, plan for budget, participants, resource materials, equipment, venues, schedules, and needs. Number 3, allocate tasks and responsibilities. Example, allocation of trainers to modules, finance, logistics, such as meals and administration. Ensure the training program is validated by the Provincial Education Office authorities before implementing this. Roles and responsibilities to manage trainings. What are the roles and responsibilities of the following stakeholders? Number 1, provincial officers. Secondly, school training committee. Thirdly, trainers at school. Number 4, person in charge of finance and meals. And number 5, person in charge of administration. Activities: discuss and write the roles and responsibilities of the above stakeholders. Still continuing with roles of provincial education officers and also for inspectors, inform head teachers to establish the committee at the school to plan and conduct school-based training. Secondly, ask schools to set time frame and schedules of training. Thirdly, distribute training materials to schools. Fourthly, monitor trainings as much as possible. Number 5, give advices and support for schools. Number 6, receive the report of trainings from schools and forward to National Department of Education, especially to Teacher Professional Development Section of Teacher Education Division. Sign or stamp the certificate for trainer when it is submitted by the schools. Roles of School Training Committee. The committee should consist of some school teachers and be chaired by the head teacher. 2, consult authorities for support and advice. Thirdly, set the time frame, example, conducting the training, whether to be done during PIST or NIST, or conduct the training for half a day or for several weeks. Fourthly, invite relevant authorities, example, the provincial level, district level, maybe local level, government level, etc. And resource people, example, good teachers from neighboring schools, etc. to the training. 5th, plan, manage and organize trainings. 6th, delegate roles and responsibilities for effective training management. And 7th, present training plan to Provincial Education Office. So at least 3 to 4 teachers should be trained at school level to divide the tasks to cover all modules. Organize resources to conduct or facilitate training. Follow the training program and deliver training. Delegate which trainer to take what module. Conduct reflection sessions. Report to authorities on the outcome of the training. Introduce and summarize each training module facilitated. Set a conducive training environment. Manage the time well according to the module plan. And communicate well with head teacher. When organizing finance and meals, for finance, plan and estimate budget for the training. Seek financial support from Board of Management, districts, LLGs, business houses, etc. Allocate funds for various activities. Make financial reports to authorities and responsible people for transparency and accountability. For meals, plan for the number of meals and types of meals on daily basis. Arrange how and who to prepare meals, cook and provide utensils. Administration of the training. Develop program schedules for the training. Refer to the training schedule in the orientation kit. Write correspondences to relevant authorities. Develop programs to opening and closing. Plan and procure resources and stationeries needed for training. Write letter to show appreciation for supporters and donors. Communicate well with head teacher. Necessary materials to conduct training. Let's look at stationery. Stationery should be bought and managed by school training committee. Some examples are given there for the types of materials: flip charts, paper, permanent markers, A4 paper, sticky tapes, sample of teaching materials, example books, compass, science apparatus, etc. Other materials as necessary in each module. Necessary materials to conduct training continued. The materials is for trainers. Training materials for school trainers, maybe about 4 sets per school. Audiovisual materials, example DVDs, flash drives, YouTube if it is available, maybe 1 DVD or flash drive per school. The materials list for trainees. Training materials for participants. You may need about 1 box per teacher. Textbook, teacher manuals for maths and science grade 3 to grade 6. Quantity for training materials. For textbooks, teachers should bring their own textbooks and teacher manuals that are distributed in their schools. Some extras are distributed for provincial education officers while they are visiting in case there is need. If there are extra materials, please distribute to new teachers. Necessary materials to conduct training. The audiovisual equipment. If the school has the following TV equipment, the training can be conducted based on the instruction in DVD. If there is no audiovisual material at the school, trainers can study the training contents in advance, and they can conduct trainings by their own instruction based on the training materials for school trainers. Number of equipment: a TV monitor, DVD player, power surge, power regulator, power source, example generator set or solar panel, battery, etc. Other reminders: possibly invite parents and citizens to observe training, which is easier awareness raising activities on new textbooks and teacher manuals. Do not forget to collect attendance and necessary documents from participants. Do feedback sessions every day for reflections. After the in-service training, report and these acquittals be sent from the schools to the district, district to provincial, and provincial to the national, meaning National Department of Education. Develop plans for supervising school-based training. Why is it important to develop a plan? Maybe to manage and implement the QUIS-ME school-based training effectively, or to delegate and share responsibilities to help prepare and organize for school-based in-service trainings on scheduled times. Activity planning. During this activity, you may like to sit by your schools or even classes if it's only a 1 school in service. Number 2, read the handout of module 5-2. Number 3, discuss and fill the training planning form. Respective modules for training, participants list, funding analysis, and person in charge of school-based training preparation task checklist. And number 4, presentation of training planning form for all teachers in school. And number 5, confirm training material quantity. DOE will distribute materials according to the plan. Training plan form is there. There are 8 areas can be filled in, and then write in the results of the discussions of those the areas on the left hand side. That is number 1, chair of school training committee. Number 2, vice chairman of the school training committee. Number 3, teacher in charge of finance. Number 4, person in charge of meals. Number 5, administrator. Number 6, trainers. Number 7, expected dates of training at school level. And number 8, when to finalize preparation before starting the training. The responsible module for training, name of the trainer on the left hand side and the module he or she will be responsible for. Same as participation list, a sample is given there for you to help you to fill in. Funding analysis, school-based training preparation task checklist is also provided for you to fill in. School-based training preparation task checklist, there to help you. That's the category, and the needed action, and the people who will be responsible for those deadlines, and as well as the completed dates. School-based training preparation tasks, this checklist also is provided in the orientation kit. Key to success. Trainers must 1. Read the orientation kits, textbooks and teacher's manual well before the scheduled time for the training. Understand contents of modules. Prepare appropriate training tools. Practice the presentations and work together with other trainers. Summary. Roles and responsibilities of school trainers need to be clearly and carefully laid out so that organizers of school-based in-service trainings are conducted effectively. Commitment in organizing school-based in-service training at the school level is needed. Commitment and professionalism is required from teachers before, during, and after the training for the achievement of positive outcomes. Reporting of school-based in-service training to relevant authorities must be done. Assessment. Explain in own words the following questions. In which level is the QUIS-ME orientation training conducted? What are the main purposes of the orientation training? Number 3, what are the 3 resource materials to conduct training? And number 4, describe roles and responsibilities of school trainers for school level training. Enjoy your training. Thank you for listening, and all the best in your training.